You're such an asshole.
AssholeConsulting.com. Pour yourselves a nice glass and get into a comfy chair because this one's going to be a while. Aaron, thank you in advance for the clarity that you have dispensed upon our society through the service that you have created. It is very pleasant to listen to logic and reasoning in a time of emotionally led individuals. Yeah, not to mention lazy, parasitic, communist fucks. The emotion is just a front. They just want your money. They just want to be disabled and be offended. Give me money. You better give me money because I'm offended. And you guys give them, oh my God, he's more money. Please keep my name anonymous. We shall. My name is such and such. At the age of 35, I reached you due to a growing void in my life. That void is the lack of a father and or bigger brother figures that can dispense positive advice in the situations that life throws at us. I always view life as a tornado. If you are sucked up in the tornado, you have no idea what's going on at all. If you are a few miles from the tornado, you can view everything perfectly. So, Mr. Clary, I do hope you are the one a few miles from my tornado as I'm seeking overall advice in the general direction of my life. You can please include social, finance, hobbies, and romantic advice. I'll try to make this email as simply and as informative as possible. That's why you paid so much for it, dude. I will be here all day if you pay me my $100 an hour. I will be here all day. Childhood. I am from a very small town of 4,500 people in the middle of nowhere. Nothing happens there. It is a dead end. My mother got pregnant with me at the mature age of 16. Yes, I am from white trash, so to speak. No, not so to speak. You are from white trash. That doesn't mean you're white trash, but you are from white trash. Some of my family members still live in trailers. I grew up with my parents fighting all the time. Father is an alcoholic. My mother was the queen of gossip and bitching. I barely graduated high school and joined the Army as soon as I graduated. Awesome. Military. I served 3.5 years, and this was one of the absolute best decisions in my life. I strongly suggest the military for young males with nothing going for them. I suggest it for people with something going for you. It's hard to beat the military. I entered Iraq the first day of the war, sailed across the Atlantic, and fought pirates in the Suez Canal. Oh, that's so cool. Employment. I've been self-employed since the age of 25. This ranged from a mobile mechanic for farms and dairies up to my present-day employment as a mechanic. However, a bit more of a mechanic. I build and restore particular machines because you don't want to be identified. Guys, if you don't want to be identified, don't give me such specific information that everyone's like, oh yeah, it's that guy. I build and restore particular machines. This includes welding, blah, blah, blah. And these machines win awards and become parts of people's private collections. A few years ago, I was working 70, 80 hours a week, and I killed it. I was featured in documentaries, magazines, and placed in every show I entered. Awesome. During that time, I was making a little over $100,000 a year. This is not gross. I currently do this for a living, but I do not kill myself at it doing 80 hours a week anymore. I'll just listen to further email. Finances. At the age of 25, I invested all the cash I had at the time into a plan. Is now paid off. I now collect $1,500 a month from it. If it continues to perform as it does, this will continue for the rest of my life, if not growing in profit. I prefer not to discuss this investment with anyone. Smart man. I use this to pay for all my monthly bills, including utilities, mortgage, and insurance. Any residual I toss towards the principal of my mortgage. Smart. Due to this investment, I now will sometimes focus on other aspects in life. However, I still work my ass off. I now will bring in anywhere from $4,000 to $15,000 a month, just depends on market and other priorities. Not including my house, I have about $60,000 to $80,000 in assets. As far as saving, I'm currently building that back up. I just got done traveling for 3 years and purchasing a house right after the travel. So this is good because you obviously can do your work and travel at the same time. On top of that, I just rebuilt my house and shop out in the backyard and shipped all my tools from storage across the country to my current location. This needs a little clarification. Here's a time frame. From 25 to 30, I worked my ass off. We were talking 70, 80 hours a week and investing everything I could back into myself and my business. During this time, I found myself a girlfriend. We were together for a few years, but she was a complete pain in the ass. She was a hot blonde, 9 out of 10. There's your problem. With abandonment issues. Well, if she wasn't such a pain in the ass, maybe people wouldn't abandon her. I couldn't take it anymore. The work, the girlfriend, the small hometown, and just irritated that no one around me wanted to progress in life. At the age of 30, I decided to sell off everything, minus tools, guns, and vehicles, break up with a girlfriend, and move to Hawaii. I will admit I was very blue-pilled at the time, and breaking up with a girlfriend hurt bad. It's going to hurt no matter what, even if you're red pill. You don't like hurting people. I don't like hurting people. Worst thing you ever do. It hurts more to hurt people that are innocent, even maybe if they're not innocent. Well, okay, that it's gleeful. But, man, sometimes that hurts more than hurting yourself. Not in a suicide-y way, not like cut this way for attention whoring, not this way. I'm not talking emo girls from the 90s who thought Winona Ryder was a thing. I'm saying like you yourself get hurt, or you stub your toe, or someone dumps you. Sometimes it's worse to dump someone else. Spent a year and a half in Hawaii with just my dog. I did nothing but practice painting, fishing, dive, and rode motorcycles in between picking up on women. I started getting into philosophy and psychology. I find them to be technical manuals for the human, such as technical manuals for engines. This is when I feel I became red-pilled with life. I started to really understand compared to what we have been force-fed since our birth. After Hawaii, I then purchased a small motorhome, and my dog and I traveled the country for 8 months. Just he and I, and not a single problem in the world. I used this time to scout out a location to live what I call my empire. Well, this is smart. You're doing reconnaissance. Even before Reconnaissance Man was a book. I now live in South Texas. I bought my house for $100,000, and within a year of owning it, I have raised the value by an easy $20,000 by remodeling inside and out. I grew up doing construction, so I was able to do all the work myself. The house is pretty much paid for itself, as I use the shop in the back to work out of. Hobbies and health. I work out 7 days a week and eat pretty damn healthy. No sweets at all. The worst thing I take in is a beer. At 35 years old, I still have a six-pack. I'm 108 pounds and 6'1". Awesome. I'm wondering why you need my help. I do this for my vanity, my health, and for the women. I don't know if it's vanity. It's good for your health. Vanity, it's just good to look good. Which I guess is the definition of vanity, but I like looking good too. As you can see with my fine clothing and the fact I haven't yet showered yet today. As for hobbies, painting is taking over my life. It was my New Year's resolution 4 years ago. I am now in multiple galleries, and my house has become a gallery unto itself. On average, I make $1,000 a month by selling a painting. The other month, I did $6,000. Motorcycles are my absolute passion in life. They are the perfect medium combining art, mechanics, and physics. I go on cross-country motorcycle ride about once a year, even competing in an underground coast-to-coast motorcycle race. I want to get in that. And not the Iron Butt. Is that the Iron Butt? Education, I graduated from high school. I've never attended college. Good. This is what you can do when you don't go to college and you go to the military. You can make millions of dollars and be retired at 35 with cool hobbies. I try to educate myself as much as I can. I read a book about an hour a day. The average day also consists of about 6 hours of podcasts or lectures. There you go. I do about the same. I don't do the reading. I golf. Obviously, they are playing in the background as I am working. You, Mr. Clary, have been the latest interest. I've taken my IQ test twice in my life and scored 135 and 141. Right. Social romantic life. This is a tough one due to my age. Obviously, my friends have been picked off by marriage and children. As like you, I have to travel to acquire some quality company. I attend art shows and painting classes, however. These are usually popular with liberal burnouts. The motorcycle world is populated with bros who are more interested in looking like a biker rather than understanding the dynamics of a point ignition system. Is usually the same population that attends sports bars. You got that right. Don't tell me the number of times I could have taken a White Glove in Sturgis and gone like this down everybody's motorcycle and not get a speck of dust on it. You used to be able to, this is going 10 years ago now, you used to be able to look at odometers and they were manual. You could see how many miles, or if they had miles. You just see, like, here's this guy with his shiny new jacket, his no wind wear, shiny new patches, and it's always Harley, shiny new helmet, and a shiny new bike, and there's like 300 miles on that bike, and they trailer it out to Sturgis, or they trailer it to Daytona, they never actually ride it. When somebody says, oh, your bike's pretty dirty, then you know that is not a real motorcyclist. That is not a real motorcyclist. Like, yeah, I've been riding for 3,000 miles this summer alone. What have you been doing? Yeah, and that's the other thing. You don't drink and drive motorcycles. You just don't. What are they doing? Go to the bar and get hammered. It's like, okay, have fun. To be honest, I usually find myself irritated sitting in a quarter at a titty bar by myself drinking an overpriced beer. Yeah, I don't. I'll go to like the local removed small town VFW or bar, get an O'Doul's or something, just because I like the charm of small town bars. But if you go to like an actual biker bar that is in a major metro area or at a major motorcycling event, yeah, it's not really motorcycle riders. Terribly sorry, Harley Davidson people. Dating is tough. I could go on about this, but you have already gone through the dating obstacle course when you were in your 30s. I have no problem getting laid. I'm pretty easy on the eyes. I've been dating long enough. I know the game. However, it gets old. Once again, by simply listening to your videos, I do not have to explain my dating troubles to you. You already know them. Yeah, but did you read Curse of the High IQ? Because I'm afraid that, like, you read the other books, but you got to read Curse of the High IQ. If you haven't read that, then I'm just going to give you advice that's in that book for a lot cheaper. That being said, I have, however, came across a woman, and I have been seeing her for about 6 months. She is 27, 5'10", blonde, no kids, parents are still together, and a Republican. Oh, wow. Of course, there are a few catches, however. Watch my video. There's always a catch. That's a great video. I would rate her a 6. She's slightly above average in looks. The height and blonde hair is what gives her the 1 point over average. Well, not to mention she's probably tolerable. That's, as you get old, you just don't tolerate the petty female bullshit anymore. You certainly don't tolerate leftist politics. That's another thing. It's like, no, you're not. You want to vote against my best interest, and go find some pansified soy boy. She does have an average IQ, which makes conversing with her better than the majority of women. She has an above average IQ, which makes conversing with her better than the majority of women. She also paints and we geek out on art together. Sounds fine. I'm having to get on her to work out and sex herself up for me. She dresses like a soccer mom. I blatantly explained to her that what I am looking for in a woman is a loyal sex trophy. She started to doll herself up more, but still has not started to work out. Let's face it, she is lazy. Yeah! She is also employed by her parents. Oh no. Oh, this is the deal breaker. There's always a problem, but this is. She is also employed by her parents that have lived off of them her entire life. No wonder she has a degree in sculpting. Okay, now the alarms are going off. Even with this, she is looking okay to carry on up with till the other week. Within 2 weeks, I caught her lying to me and texting another guy while laying in bed. So as of right now, she is gone. Not even a fuck buddy. I cannot risk a bad relationship, a crazy woman, nor a pregnancy in my life. One thing I have noticed is that women get off birth control when they are 30 years old. They claim it messes them up a bit with the added hormones. I do believe a bit of this, but obviously it wasn't that big of a deal in her 20s. I really believe it is to become pregnant with or without the man's decision. I'm inclined to agree with you there. So as of right now, Mr. Clare, I do not have a father figure to go on. I do not have an older brother figure, nor any other single friends that are living the same lifestyle as I am. Most of my family thinks that I need to settle down, marry, and get a real job, but that will never happen. Why? I could be as miserable as them. I really want to push forward with my motorcycle business simply as a goal and a challenge. I also want to go and travel again and rent my house out. I could use your opinion about my general direction in life and advice about women, as I feel I'm just winging it as I go through life. Below is a link to my Instagram if you need to see any photo references. You'll be able to view it on your computer. Once again, thank you for doing your service. It is helping many. All right, look. I don't know if it was in. Did I do a video or maybe it's in Curse of the High IQ? Sometimes there are no solutions to life's problems. If you get AIDS, well, there's no cure for it yet. You major in the liberal arts, you can't go back and get that time back. You can only recover from it or deal with it. And one of the problems, if probably the best problem in the world to have, is the one you got, and that is you have so skewed yourself to the right of the bell curve in many facets and regards of society, your career, your hobbies, your physique, your working out, and your philosophy, that you are getting further and further removed from the rest of society. And what ends up happening is almost reverse gravity. Well, I guess it is regular gravity. The further you get away from the mass, the less gravitational pull it has. I guess that's what it is. I would even say it starts pushing away further and further. Like, especially with you on podcasts, you're out there hiking or doing what you're doing, working on your projects or your art. I'm out bowling, hiking, working out, golfing, riding my motorcycle, whatever, and I listen to podcasts. And what that does is you have so much of what you want at your fingertips. You don't have to deal with normal people. You don't have to go back into regular society. And this is a very temptation. We're going to award you this award. It's a very tempting temptation to use and select the world's greatest minds over social media and podcasts and the internet and books, and kind of have that be your world, because you just can't tolerate the normies and the conformies. Then as you spend more and more time doing that, you start to I've started to find this about myself. It's not that I'm becoming a hermit. Again, the biggest problem I have is I don't have enough people nearby or socially that I have to drive and find them. But now I'm starting to find it. I'm getting comfortable more and more so, just and happiest listening to my podcasts, going out and hitting a ball around, hiking, or lifting weights, or motorcycling around. And a lot of that, you're a little bit younger, significantly younger, not a little bit, but somewhat younger. You're definitely at the stage I was, where you're going to start knocking on people's door, like, hey, do you want to? Hey, do you want to? Hey, do you want to? And you're going to get rejected so many times that that's going to become enough pain that you'll say, I can't do this anymore to maintain my mental health. So what I think you have to do is one of acceptance and realizing and fully assessing and accurately assessing your situation. At your IQ, right off the bat, we'll start with that. There's just not that many people there. Now you throw in your hobbies. Again, not that many colorful people there. You throw in your career, not only the career itself, but where you've gone with your career, and you're investing in your financial success. Not that. That's a desert. That's a ghost town. Not that many people there. And then you throw in your physique, you're in good shape, and the fact you don't have any other kids, and you're a catch. And you're going to try and find a girl, forget looks, like a 6 is fine if she can keep up with you intelligently. But again, you're just not that many people there. And I would like to say, hey, someday, I like to be like a normal idiot that watches too many Disney movies. Someday you'll just do your thing, and you're walking down the street, and you're gonna get yourself a spinach frappy mocha. And there she'll be. An 8.5 who's not too hot to be on the crazy matrix, with their degree in chemical engineering, who's just as hardworking, who has her own. They don't exist. They don't exist. What you need, what you want, doesn't exist. And you can go down your life trying to solve that problem, which has no solution, and drive yourself insane. Or you can just accept the fact that you're going to be alone. And it's better to accept that fact and be alone than it is to painfully waste away your life and the excellence you might achieve in your various endeavors, than if you try and fruitlessly try and find. I wish I could say it was just girls, but just to find enough colleagues. So, I think it was the IQ book, but one of the chapters I write about is how the internet is kind of basically your only salvation. You kind of already know this because you've gotten into podcasts and you're reading books. You're going to have to travel. Go online, meet your friends. Meet them on there. The internet is this great filter by which you can find like-minded people. They're out there, they're just not close to you. And kind of like you and me, there are a surprising amount of parallels. It's not that these people can't meet you, that they don't have the money. They don't have the freedom. They have jobs. They have kids. Or they're just old. That's another thing. Some of the oldest, it's really cool to talk to the old people, but they're old. They don't want to fly all over the place and drive a motorcycle. You got to go to them. Chris Muir, if you ever go to Day by Day Cartoon, he is one of the few people I would say is a role model to me, and it is like talking to a sage, and I will go visit him. But for various legitimate reasons, this has nothing but the legitimate reasons, he couldn't just pick up and come to Vegas or drive around and fly around, even though he's employed online. People's lives just don't work that way. And you are in the enviable and at the same time unenviable situation of having total freedom. You can go and pick up and leave whenever you want. You can go and entertain yourself. You are constantly improving your mind and your wisdom and your philosophy tuning into those podcasts. You are constantly improving. And you are going to insist on finding some very intelligent people to have in your life. But they are not going to be, they're not going to have, it's not even a triple threat. It's like a quintuple threat. The intelligence, the finances, the job that allows you the freedom, the looks, and I'd also say the physique is another thing that's really hard. Like, I can find friends, but I can't find friends except for like maybe the talented Mr. Lee, the Dirty Harriet, and the Denver Ben. But again, they all have jobs. I mean, I gotta go to them. I have to go to Denver. I have to go to Phoenix. I gotta go to Wyoming. And you could get angry about it. You could tell I'm kind of angry about it too. That's just what it is. No life is perfect. I've described it before. Success is replacing bigger problems with slightly lesser ones. And that means you're never going to get rid of all your problems. You are not going to have the perfect life. So what you need to do is accept that you have about as perfect a life as you can. You cannot give up. Like I often thought, well, what if I went back to work? No, I've been there. I don't need to do that. Well, what if I had a kid? No, I don't want a kid. No. What if? No, you did it right. You're in you're a very enviable position. So don't change anything there, but you have to accept that this is it. I know this is going to sound totally weird, totally off the wall, but you go to Voltron, the original, not the new one, which is pretty good, by the way, and this is going to go way back and test everybody's 80s knowledge. I don't know if you guys remember the episode where Voltron made it to the edge of the universe, and there was nothing left, except like there was like a godlike figure. It says, you have reached the edge of the universe, there's nothing, turn back. That's where you are. You are at the evolutionary edge that which society has advanced, and you're on the vanguard, and there are very few pioneers, Daniel Boone's out there. Talk to Rollo Tomasi, look at the Ed Lattimore's. Rich Cooper, I think, is also kind of pushing that edge now. And you look at it, their socializing is all on the internet, because that's the only way that you can socialize. But it is lonely out there, and there are not a lot of peers. And since there's not a lot of peers, and they're all spread across the world, that's where you're going to have to travel to them to get any kind of modicum of social life. And dating, I would just give up. You're going to have to sacrifice, I mean, if the girl just has to be bangable. That's what I've learned long ago. You don't want a drop-dead gorgeous girl. You just want a girl that's bangable. Because the prettier they are, the more drama there is. And heck, even you saw, like, if they're good-looking enough, they'll have a bunch of other guys. It's like, okay, fine. And here's another thing that you're going to have to face. There's not a lot of girls that are as smart as you. And I don't mean that in proportion to your IQ. Again, recurse of the high IQ. Women more tightly curve around the mean of the Bell distribution. So there are a lot more average women, but there are also a lot less dumb women, and there are a lot less intelligent women. So the male distribution curve is flatter. The women Bell distribution curve and intelligence is tighter. And so if you're 2 standard deviations, 2 and change, almost 3 based on that one score, there's 3 guys for every girl out there at that IQ level. And it is slim pickings. And that assumes the girl even has half the shit on her resume that you did. And then the best you could come up with is a trust fund baby who majored in sculpture and then was chasing some other guy. And that's about right. So what I'm trying to get you to do is there's postmodernism, which I think is just an excuse for we're too lazy to do really good art. But you need to go post-human evolvement or post-traditional lifestyle. You have to go beyond, I'd like to have a wife and kids. I'd like to have a friends and social network. It's like, no, that's not going to be for you. Maybe join the Kiwanis, maybe join the Masons, and then be prepared to be let down. You're just going to have to admit you're a statistical freak of nature for predominantly the good, but there are drawbacks to it, of which, sadly, dude, I don't have the answer. I wish I had the answer. Because then I could say, oh, it's this. And it's not. The more I look at it, the more I go out there. And I'd love to get like the likes of Ed Lattimore and Rollo Tomasi's and Rich Cooper's advice. Maybe I'll send it to these guys. I'd love to get their opinion on this. Because I don't know, dude. I have no freaking clue. All I know is to stop banging my head against the wall and to continue the pursuit of excellence. I didn't think I liked golf. I tried golf. And that's going to be my next hobby for like maybe 3 years until I get, and then I'll find something else. But I absolutely refuse to go the other direction and become a normie. I refuse to, because you just can't. And you're, like I said, I think you're so far away from the gravitational pull. I get pissed off when people waste 3 minutes of my time. I'm like, I could be doing something right now. I could be doing something else. People that get in my way, I get pissed off. And I don't mean to sound like I'm a diva princess, but I get up, I got shit to do. I ain't gonna waste my fucking time. I'm gonna die within about 30, 35 years. And the hell if I'm gonna sit there in line. That's a great test, lines. Well, we could wait in line. No, we are not waiting in line. Lines are for inferior people, conformists, and communists. Superior people don't stand in line because they have other more important shit to do. And it's in other words, it's gonna be impossible for you to turn off and go the other way. So I say keep on going. Become the Tesla. Become the unique artist out there who love motorcycle riding and participate in motorcycle rides, and maybe write a book about it so there's a bit of a legacy. Because otherwise your brain is just going to be tortured. Just going to be tortured. Going and doing what normal people do, watching the fucking game and eating wings. No way. No way. This stuff right here. This is more valuable than all of the sports ball games ever played combined. So that's it, dude. I wish I had an answer. If you haven't read Curse of the High IQ, I'd recommend reading that. But yeah, there sometimes is no answer. There is no solution to problems. And it sucks. That's it. If you guys got questions, go to Asshole Consulting. If you got questions I can't answer, and the ones I can answer, go to Asshole Consulting and pay me regardless. At assholeconsulting.com. Check out my blog, captaincapitalism.blogspot.com. Read the books. You can go to amazon.com and search Aaron Clary, you'll find me. Most of them available in paperback, Kindle, audiobook. You can Patreon me, give me more money but not get anything in exchange, which I always find weird, but people want to know if I'd set it up, so I did. Patreon.com/Aaron Clary. And then you can always shop at my Amazon affiliate program. All of those links are below, down in the description section. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.